Welcome back to our course. So for this lecture, we will be discussing about comparison operators and the importance of them. Okay, so before we start, again, it's a very good practice to document code. So again, we'll use Markdown language. So this is a heading 2, just a review. So this is we'll be talking about comparison operators. Okay, so basically, what comparison operators allows is it allows you to compare two elements to each other. Okay, so I think I already discussed this comparison operators in the previous lectures, specifically on the Boolean values. So to reiterate, let us just review comparison operators. Make it simple. These are the greater than signs, the equality sign, and inequalities. So again, to review, is 2 greater than 3. So the comparison operator here is the greater than sign. Okay, so these are similar to Boolean values as discussed in previous lectures. So is 2 greater than 3. Comparison operators just compare two values. Actually, it can compare more, but the foundation here is you compare two elements. So for this example is 2 greater than 3, so the result will be false. So another comparison is 2 greater than less than 3. Okay, so that will be true. So another comparison operator is 2 greater than or equal to 3. So that will be false. So another one is 4 less than or equal to 5. So this will be true. So another one is 2 equal to 2. Okay, so that will be true. So one common mistakes for beginners in programming is that they assign equality operator with just a single equal sign. So example is this one. So is 1 equal to 2? So this is a very common mistake when using comparison operators. Okay, this is a common mistake. Okay, so remember that equality operator has two equal signs. Okay, always remember that. So if you execute this, this will be an error in assignment to literal. So this just means that in this line, you have a variable of 1, you are assigning a value of 2. And to the proper definition of defining variables is it cannot start with 1. So basically what you're doing here is you're assigning the value of 2 to 1, which is this is a or an error. So another one is that you are not limited only to comparing numeric values, but also with the strings. So for example, is ABC equivalent to ABC? So you can also do this on strings, not just only on numerical values. So we have also inequality sign. So for example, is 2 not equal to 3. So it is denoted by an exclamation point and an equal sign. So is 2 not equal to 3? So yes. Okay. So the next one we will discuss is how about logical operators. Okay. So logical operators. So example of logical operators. I know you're familiar with this one already because you have encountered many programming languages. Okay. So and. So we have the or. We have the not. Okay. So logical operators are symbol or word. These are used to connect two or more expressions. Okay. So for demonstration, for example, is 1 less than 2. Okay. Then we will use the AND operator in between. So AND. So is 2 greater than 3. So what will be the result? So the result will be false. So why? Okay. So let me put a comment on the side. So is 1 less than 2? So that's true. So the other expression says is 2 greater than 3. So that is false. So true, false in the AND operator will result in false. So let me review you on the truth table for the AND. Okay. So this one. So and I will not execute this code. Okay. So true and true is equivalent to true. So true and false is equivalent to false. False and true is equivalent to false. And false and false is equivalent to false. So remember that when you're using an operator, the only time it will become true is if both expressions resulted in true. Okay, so this will be the truth table for AND. So another one, we have the OR statement, or operator. Okay, so for example, is one same example is 1 less than 2 or 2 is greater than 3. Okay, so the result is still true. So why? So if we will review the truth table for OR. Okay, so we have true and true equals to true. We have true and false equals to true also. So false and true equals to true also. So the only time it will become false is if both expression is false. Okay, so that's the difference of the two. So this one is true, this one is false, so it will result also to true. Okay, so this one is the truth table for or I know you know this one. Okay, so let me remove that. Okay, so the next one is the NOT operator. It's just in logic gates, it's equivalent to inverter. So for example, is 1 equivalent to 1? So this will be true. But if you use the NOT operator, it will just reverse the logic. So 1 is equal to 1, which is true. But if you reverse that, the NOT operator will reverse the true to false. So let's go ahead and proceed to control structures. Okay. So let's proceed to control structures. So this one is control structure. So I know you're familiar with the if-else statement. So the only difference here is how Python executes the syntax. So it's very different from if you came from a JavaScript, PHP, C++, and Java background. The if statement in Python is also similar but different in syntax. Okay, so an if statement works if a condition is satisfied. So for example, so if 2 is less than 3, so this time you do a colon. So if you come from a Java background, so usually you will do this. Okay, then you have code here. So that's the comment in Java, but in Python is it's a hashtag. So in Python, if statement looks like this, okay, is 2 greater than 3. So usually there's a colon after the condition. Okay, so for example, n, it's very crucial here that you do the tabbing. Okay, you tab. So print for example, is yes. Okay, so because if you execute this, is 2 greater than 3, so that will be false. The condition is not satisfied. That's why you don't see any output. But if you reverse the logic, okay, is 2 less than 3, so that will be true. So the code will execute. So these are for single condition. Okay. So basically, what the above code means is if the condition is satisfied, okay, if true, so print, for example, yep. Okay. So how about if we have two conditions? I know you are very familiar with this one, but I'm only discussing the difference in syntax because we're using the Python language. Okay. What if you have two conditions? So if, for example, 1 is equivalent to 2. Okay, let's say we print first. Okay, then we have a second condition if the first condition is not met. So we have the else. Let's say print last. So the first statement means that this is false. So it will revert to the other condition. Okay, so if we execute this, so that will be, we will print the last. So because 1 is not equivalent to 2, this is false. So if this is false, the other condition will be executed. So you can also do multiple conditions in an if-else statement in Python. So let's have a comment here. So these are for multiple conditions. Okay. So if 1 is equivalent to 2, so colon, so print. So just as the same. So first. So what will be the next line if this is a multiple condition? So instead of else if, so I know you're very familiar with this one. So Python uses elif. Okay. So elif equals 3. So let's say print, let's say this is the second. Okay. So another one, elif, let's say 4 is equivalent to 4. Okay. So let's say print third. Okay. So next line, we have the else statement. Okay. Let's say print last. Okay. Let's execute this blocks of code. So the second print. So although the third one also satisfy the condition of true. So whichever comes first, that is satisfied. So the second line satisfied already the condition. So if you notice here, the second will be printed. Although the third one also satisfied this, but this comes first. So that's the ruling in else if statement. If one is already satisfied, the code will execute. Okay. So next lecture, we will be dealing with also control structure. But this time we will use the control structure in the category of repetition, which are the looping, which is very much needed in programming. So see you on the next lecture.